Hi everybody, this is Shawna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy. Welcome to lesson number 58. In this lesson, we'll get into the idea of why at the end of a two-syllable word. Let's begin by setting up the table. You'll need your top 160 sight word list, the sight word study method instruction sheet, the student's card pack of sight words, some blank index cards, a highlighter, markers, and some pencils. For the short vowel drill, you'll need the teacher instruction sheet, the keyword pictures, and the keyword sentence. Bear in mind that once the student has mastered the short vowel sounds, you'll discontinue this drill. For the phonemic awareness drill, you'll need the teacher instruction sheet and the colored tiles for the student. For the visual drill and auditory drill, you'll need the teacher instruction sheets and the card pack on which the student is currently working. Remember that you're removing the mastered cards as they get mastered. You'll have a syllable card drill, and you'll have to cut this one up and set it up on the table. There's a magnetic letter tile drill for spelling and reading. You'll need the teacher instruction sheets and the cookie sheet with the letters spread in a rainbow shape. You'll need the syllable pounding instruction sheet, the new phoneme grapheme kinesthetic discovery sheet, and the sheets for the lesson, which include the scooping syllable sheets, the teacher's answer key, the individual word list, the short story, and the 3 sentences for the writing part of the lesson. In addition to all of that, you'll have some sorts. We'll do a yes-no sort for is it a closed syllable? And we'll be moving on to how does Y sound at the end of a 2-syllable word? So now we're having a sort that has all the different sounds of Y. The student will actually read those words and then sort them. Finally, you might have a timer on the table, and this timer will be there if you've introduced a fluency element to the lesson. Fluency is the student's ability to read with speed, accuracy, and a natural expression. You'll have to introduce a secondary program when the student's ready to work on fluency. So maybe you could use the 6-minute reading solution or read naturally. Those are 2 good options. Let's begin with the sight word study method. Student, take out your card pack of sight words on which you're currently working. You'll read each card, and when you get a word correct, you'll put a check mark in the corner of the card. Once you're finished reading all the cards, you will hand the card pack to your teacher. Then it's your teacher's turn to read. Your teacher reads each word and you write it down. Teacher, you're ready with blocking strategies in case the student encounters difficulties. Once this is finished, you and the student can have a quick discussion about which of those words has been mastered. Mastered words will get removed from the card pack. That leaves space so that if there's time, you can introduce a new sight word. If you are still doing the short vowel drill, then you can take out your keyword pictures and your keyword sentence. With 2 fingers, you'll trace the keyword shape, saying the keyword apple, and then underline it and say the target sound, ah. Do that as many times as your teacher deems necessary, and then move on to the next one. Afterwards, read the keyword sentence, stretching out the vowel sounds as you do it. Do the phonemic awareness drill. Student, you're going to need your colored tiles for this one. Your word is get. Can you repeat that word? I might say, I will go and get the soccer ball. Now I'd like you to spell the word get with your colored tiles. Then tap it and say it. Okay, do you have 3 different colored tiles in front of you? G, E, T. If you did, that's right. Find the E in get. Change the E into an A. Now tap it and say it. Did you say got? If you did, that's right. And what type of syllable is got? Is it a closed syllable or an open syllable? Tell your teacher now. It's a closed syllable. How do you know it's closed? Did you say because you can hear that the vowel sound is short? And after the vowel sound, after that short vowel sound, you can hear there's a consonant? If you did, that's right. What would happen if we took away the t? So it was closed, but now we're going to take away the t, so there's no babysitter on the end of that word. How does that change the vowel sound? Try it now. Tap in and say it. What's your new vowel sound? Did you say go? And you can hear the O, the long O. What type of syllable has it turned into? Is it closed or open? It's open. In an open syllable, we have that vowel sound. It's long, and it's at the end of the word. Okay, so you've got go. Find the g in go and change it into a h. Now tap and say it. Did you get ho? As in Santa says ho, ho, ho. If you did, that's right. Now find the O in ho. Change the O into a U. Now tap and say it. Did you get hue? If you did, that's right. Find the U in hue and change the U into an I. Now tap and say it. Did you say hi? If you did, that's correct. What type of syllable is hi? Is it an open syllable or a closed? It's an open syllable. Let's close it in again. So take a new color and call it t. Put it at the end. Now that vowel sound, that I, is closed in by the babysitter, the t, the consonant. So this changes the syllable type and it changes the sound of that I. Tap in to say it with that new sound that's going to be in there. Did you say hit? If you did, that's right. Great work. You can put your tiles away. Let's do the visual drill. Student, you'll need your card pack for this one. The teacher flashes the card and the student says the sound. Ready? What sound does this one make? Did you say qu? If you did, that's right. Teacher, do about 6 to 8 cards in this way. Now let's do the auditory drill. Student, your sound is d. Can you repeat that sound? What symbol or symbols do you know to write the sound d? Write them down now, and as you're writing them down, say the sound, and then underline them and say the sound again. I can think of 2 ways to write d. Did you say D is one way to write d? If you did, that's correct. Another way that we've learned is ed. Ed has 4 sounds. It can make ed, id, d, or t, depending on the situation. Teacher, do about 6 to 8 cards in this way. Now it's time to do a syllable card drill that focuses on open syllables. There's actually very few words that are 2-syllable words that have open syllables in both sides, in the first syllable and the second syllable of the word. But I found a few so that we can do this drill. You'll begin by reading down all the syllables in column number 1. Then you'll read down all the syllables in column number 2. Then you'll read across each row, making nonsense words as you go. Finally, it's time to unscramble things. So you can change some of those syllables that are in column number 2 so they match up with different ones in column number 1 to make real words. Remember to talk about the meanings of the words and to put some of those words into sentences as you're doing the drill. Let's do some syllable pounding. I'll say the word, and then student, you repeat the word, and as you're repeating it, you're going to have your arm stretched out and you'll go, and you'll just like pound out the different syllables as you say the word. If you'd rather, you could put your hand under your chin, and your chin will drop and hit your hand every time a syllable is created. Your word is elephant. How many vowel sounds do you hear in elephant? How many syllables? I hear 3 in that one. Elephant. How about this one? Solo. I hear 2 in that one. I hear the O in so and the O in low. So low. How about this one? V. I hear one in that one. I just hear the E sound in the V-E. How about this one? Veto. Did you say two? If you did, that's right. Now I'd like you to take out your Scooping Syllables worksheet. Teacher, you have the answer key provided. Student, you'll also need your How to Scoop Syllables instruction sheet. Work through as many words as your teacher tells you to, and you'll be talking out your, just explain your thinking as you're doing it. And when you're finished, you can come back to me. We've been talking about what it means to be an open syllable. Student, can you take out your rule card right now and have a quick discussion with your teacher about what it is to be an open syllable? When you're finished, there's a card sort on the table. And this card sort is not to be read. It contains syllable types that you haven't learned yet. So you're simply applying the rule of the definition, what it is to be an open syllable, and you'll sort it into a yes, it is an open syllable, or no, it's not, just based on the definition. We've been talking about the different sounds that Y can make. Y can make 4 sounds. When Y is at the start of a word, it says it's consonant sound. That's the sound that we're really familiar with from the closed syllable. This one is Y. Can you repeat that sound? So this word would be, can you tap it, say it? Yet. When Y is in any other position in the word, it's acting as a vowel. And we can predict which of the 4 sounds it's going to make because it matters where it is in the word. So if it's in the middle of a word, a syllable, we know it will make the short I sound, I. So what's this word? J. Gym, right? What happens when Y is at the end of a 1-syllable word? Let me just build it here for you. So let's look at that one. We got this one right here. So at the end of a 1-syllable word, we have S, O, and the Y is going to make an I sound. Sly. We don't like to end words with the letter I, so the Y steps in to do that job. Today we're going to think about what happens at the end of a 2-syllable word. This is the 4th sound of Y. I'm going to make a word and it's going to consist of 2 open syllables. Okay, here's the first one. We have L-A, so what's that one? Lay. And then we have the D sound, and the Y at the end of a 2-syllable word is going to sound like E. So D-E. So what's that word? Tap it and say it. Did you get lady? If you did, that's correct. Now I'd like you to do a card sort to practice the different sounds of Y. And you're just going to sort them into, is it a consonant? Is it making the short I sound? Is it making the long I sound? Or is it making the E sound? And you can read these as you do it. Your teacher, you can keep an eye on the time and you can see if this should just be a quick sort or if you want the student to read as the student is sorting. Let's do the magnetic letter tile drill for reading. Student, you're going to need your cookie sheet with your letters spread in a rainbow shape for this one. Your sound is Y. Can you say that sound? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Can you say eh? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Can you say S? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now tap the whole word and say it. Did you say yes? If you did, that's right. What sound is the Y making in the word yes? It's making the yes sound. When a Y makes a yes sound, that's what happens when it's at the start of the word. Is it acting as a consonant or a vowel? That's the sound it makes when it's a consonant. And when it's at the front of the word, it will be a consonant. Put your tiles away and let's try a new word. Your word Well, your first sound is, can you say the sound? Okay, find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Can you say oh? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. I. Can you say that sound? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now look at your word and apply any spelling rules that you think need to be applied and tap it and say it. Did you say fly, as in I saw a bird fly? If you did, that's right. We hear the f of F, the O of L, and the I sound. We don't like to end our English words in I, so the Y steps in to do that job. So that would be spelled F-L-Y. Okay, great work. Teacher, if there's time, you could do another word in this way. If not, you can move on to the single word list. The student will read each word in the list and then move on to the short story. After that, that's where the fluency piece will go if you've added it. Now let's move into the writing part of the lesson. We'll begin with the magnetic letter tile drill for spelling. You'll need your cookie sheet with the letters spread in a rainbow shape for this one. Your word is halo. Can you repeat that word? I might say the angel has a golden halo above the angel's head. Okay, how many syllables are there in halo? I count 2. I hear the A sound in hay and the O sound in low. So what's the first sound you hear in halo? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the second sound that you hear in halo? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound you hear in halo? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. And what's the last sound that you hear in halo? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now tap the whole word and say it. Did you spell it H-A-L-O? If you did, that's right. Put those tiles away and let's try a new word. Your word is tiny. Okay, how many syllables do you hear in tiny? Tiny. I hear 2. So the first syllable, tie. What's the first sound you hear in tie? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound you hear in tie? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now let's work on syllable number 2. Knee. Can you repeat that syllable? What's the first sound you hear in knee? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. And what's the last sound you hear in knee? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now apply any spelling rules that need to get applied. And tap it and say it. Did you spell it T-I-N-Y? If you did, that's right. When you hear that E sound at the end of a 2-syllable word, you're going to use Y for that. Now take another tile for N. And if you could put it right, so spell it T-I-N-N-Y. And this is not tiny anymore. What's the base of this word? The base is tin. So we had this base tin, and we wanted to turn it into tinny. So we had the suffix Y. That's going to make that E sound. And in a closed syllable, that's where that 1-1-1 rule would come in. We would say tin has one vowel, the vowel short, is followed by one babysitter, n. So if I want to add a suffix that's a Y, I'm going to double the N. And that's how we know if a word is tinny or tiny. So now it's going to become clear as we're getting into this open syllable why it was so important to have the 1-1-1 rule in the closed syllable. It tells us how to read the base with the short vowel sound. You're going to get a chance to work on this right now. To put your tiles away, and I'm going to say, can you spell the word happy? Can you repeat that word? Okay, what's the first sound that you hear in happy? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound you hear in happy? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in happy? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. And what's the last sound that you hear in happy? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Okay, tap it and say it. And apply any spelling rules that need to get applied. All right, did you spell it H-A-P-P-Y? If you did, that's right. We're thinking about the base, and the base is hap, and we want to add that Y, the E sound at the end. So that suffix Y is going to come in. And if we didn't double the P, we would have to read the word as happy. If we want to have that short vowel sound, that's where the double R comes in, the 1-1-1 rule. So we double the P and add the ending that starts with the vowel. Okay, great work. You can put those tiles away. Let's do some finger tapping, and you'll need line paper and a pencil for this one, and you're going to tap it and say the sounds, grab the whole word and say the whole word, and then write it down. We're thinking about this concept of what's the base? Is it a closed syllable or an open syllable? And if I want to add that E sound, which is going to be written with the Y, if it's a closed syllable, I double the final consonant. So here's your word, lady. Okay, tap it, say the whole word, and write it down. Okay, lay and D are the two syllables. Did you spell it L-A-D-Y? If you did, that's right. How could you turn that word lady into laddie? Hey, laddie. A little boy is called a laddie sometimes. You'd have to double the D if you wanted to make that ah sound. So it would be L-A-D-D-Y. Okay, try this one. Puppy. Can you say that word? I have a little puppy and it's adorable. Okay, think of it syllable by syllable and apply the spelling rules. So tap it out and then write it down. Did you spell it P-U-P-P-Y? If you did, that's right. The base of that word is pup. Pup is a closed syllable. We want to add this suffix Y. And if we want to do that, we need to apply the 1-1-1 rule because it's a closed syllable. Pup is a closed syllable. If we didn't double a P, we would have two open syllables and we'd have to read it as puppy. And that's not right. We want a puppy. Okay, teacher, you can do some more words if you have time in this way. Otherwise, you can move on to the writing sentences. And you'll read the 3 sentences to the student, and the student will choose what 2 are going to be written down. After the student writes a sentence, the student checks the work with chops. Let's do a quick review before you go. We've been talking about these ideas of closed syllable and open syllable. In English, the hardest part is knowing how to read the vowels. Are you going to read a vowel as a long sound or a short sound? Is this a closed syllable or is it an open syllable? Tell your teacher right now how you know. And tap it and say it. That was a closed syllable. We know it's a closed syllable because it has one vowel, and the vowel is followed by one or more consonants, in this case 1. So we know that we're going to read that as ah, the ah pull sound. But what would happen if I took away the consonant? What type of syllable do we have now? Now it's an open syllable. And how would you read it? That would be read as A, so that would be lay. Today we focused on this Y and the difference. We've been looking at the different sounds of Y. And when Y is at the end of a 2-syllable word, you can always know the sound it's going to make. What sound will it make in this word? Well, the Y will make an E sound, so what's that word? Tap it, say it. That word is lady. So the Y is going to make an E sound at the end of a two-syllable word. Great job today. This is Shawna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy.